It's an especially wonderful day today. Can't tell you why, it just feels that way. It's been absolutely super mega awesome so far, and I'm just buzzing with energy, and I have lots of energy to give you all. So tune in and be here with me and get some of that good juju that I have to spread today. Perhaps it's the holiday cheer. Perhaps it's that we had such a lovely Thanksgiving, and I'm just so grateful for the life that I get to live and for the wonderful community that we have, all the different friendships, the family. It's amazing. So I'm here to spread some holiday cheer with you all and do it based on the law of attraction principles. You might have read the write up for today's gathering, and that's exactly what my intent is, to go back to the basics, to go back to the very basics of the law of attraction and NLP, putting the whole two together, and then giving you some resources that you can use in your own life to have the most wonderful next months and really cruise very gently and calmly into the holiday season. Because I do hear from a lot of people that there is a lot of loneliness. There is, even though we might be surrounded by people, we still feel lonesome. We feel that we don't really belong. We might not really get an opportunity to tap into the holiday cheer. And that's what my intent is, to help you and give you some resources that are going to make it easier for you. Okay. So that's what I want to get out of this evening. Just sharing my happiness, sharing the joy, and sharing resources that are going to make it easier for everybody, especially if you feel a little bit alone or left out, or that there might be things going on in your life that are not as cheerful. I know that we have people who lost loved ones. We have people who have surgeries coming up. We have people with hardship in their relationships. We have people who are sick, who are dealing with debilitating illness. So anybody who's feeling some kind of pain right now, please feel embraced and know that there is a community here that is praying for you, that is holding space for you, that loves you, and is wishing you all the very best. Okay? So, blessed be, my friends. We are all here for each other, and that ultimately is the basis of the law of attraction, that we are all connected. We are all connected. We are all one. When you peel away that superficial, that surface structure of I am me and you are you, and we're definitely obviously separated from each other. We're not the same person, we're not the same organism. There is a divide between you and me. But when we go deeper and we go down to the level of our cell structure, and then we go deeper into the level of our molecules, and then we go even deeper into the level of our atomic structure, and then even deeper into the particles, and then ultimately down to the energetic level, then all of a sudden we are not so separate from each other, and we are not really disconnected from each other. We are all connected, because when you really step back into space and look at this organism called Earth, look what it is. It does look like a big cell. We are all one. We are all part of this organism called Earth. And so, on the energetic level, you will not see a difference between these different people, between these different organisms that on the surface seem to be disconnected, and yet on the quantum level in the field, we are all connected. There are now instruments, microscopes, that can truly show us that this hand, for example, is made of energy vibration. It is just vibrating energy when you really go down deep enough, and then all you see ultimately is a mass of vibrating energy. And that is the level that I love to go on when I do feel alone, or I do feel that I'm disconnected, to just remind myself that deep, deep down, we are all connected, we are all one, and we all belong to this beautiful quantum field that we are all part of. So give yourself that right now. And that's the first principle of the Quantum NLP version of the law of attraction, that everything is connected, everything is one, and we are all part of it. So you never are really alone. You never are really disconnected or separate from anybody or anything else in this universe, because it is a truth that on the most deepest, profound level, we are all one, we are all connected, we are all entangled. You've heard that word before. We are all part of that entanglement, and we're all in training each other. So give that to yourself right now. Just give yourself that experience by saying the words to yourself: I am one with everything there is. We are all part of the oneness. We are all part of the all. We are all connected. We all belong to each other. We are all there with each other. And that is a deep, fundamental truth that goes back thousands of years. When you look at philosophies like Hermetics, that is the number one presupposition that it's all based on. We are all one. And that just feels nice to know that ultimately you are not disconnected and alone, and that you do belong, and that you are a part of something that is much bigger than each one of us can be alone. And then it all comes together and it creates something that is so, so much bigger, and we're all part of that. So that is the number one principle of the law of attraction. And then what I already said is, and that quantum field that we are all part of is ultimately a mass of vibrating energy. So just imagine it like a pool or like an ocean. Imagine the waves in the ocean. Imagine this depth in the ocean of just water particles coming together, all these droplets of water coming together to form that mass that we call the ocean or a huge lake. Or it is a wave function that you can imagine, a hologram with a wave function. And we are all part of that, and that vibrates. That field vibrates all the time, and there are high vibrations and low vibrations. Some vibration is more dense than others, and there is a frequency difference in that vibration. And when we look at the emotional vibrations that we have, then a vibration of guilt and shame and hopelessness is a lot lower frequency than a vibration of happiness and joy and gratitude, right? We all understand that. You've been exposed to this information for decades now. This is an old hat, ultimately. If you're in any kind of self development arena, you have heard about that. That our emotional makeup is a direct reflection of a vibrational frequency that we carry within us, and that is within us in this moment, and we're exuding that vibration into the field. So when we are in a place of hopelessness and despair and shame and hatred and unforgiveness and hopelessness, then we are sending out a very certain level of vibration. And that is very different than when we are in a place of very heightened gratitude and bliss and passion and excitement and freedom and peace of mind and serenity and gratitude. We're sending out a very, very different vibration in that moment. And here is the kicker. And that's what we are now collectively waking up to. Whatever we get back, whatever we are attracting back to us from the universe, is a direct match to the vibration that we're sending out. So whatever you're complaining about in your life right now, and whatever is not functioning right now, is a direct match to the vibrational makeup that you're currently exuding. The blueprint that you have created for yourself in your energy vibration, in the frequency that you're used to. And it's conditioned, you guys. It's just conditioned. It's just learned. I just heard again today that we are all geniuses. Until the age of 2, children are geniuses, period. And then by the age of 5, only 20% of the kids are still consistently are tapping into their genius. And by the time we reach age 20, it's 2%, because it's been beaten out of us, it's been talked out of us, it's been educated out of us, that it's okay to be ourselves and to be in our genius and to expect good things to happen and to believe in our brilliance and to believe in our intelligence and to believe in our beauty and in our purpose and our mission and all that good stuff that makes life worth living and that gives us happiness. So that's what we need to come back and reclaim, and that would be my most wonderful wish for all of us for this holiday season, for these next 4 weeks that we have until we're going to sit together with our families and celebrate the new beginning. Because that's ultimately what Christmas is, and what all the other holidays are, is that coming to a completion. It is solstice, it is the completion of this year. It's going into the new year. It's welcoming new life. It's welcoming new hope, new experiences. And then we get to do this in a different way. And that's my greatest wish for this evening, and what I can give to you right now, and what you will take with you from being here. That you will have a different attitude about it this year and really make some commitments to yourself and claim your path, to claim your happiness and your freedom, your peace of mind, your bliss, your gratitude, that you then get to exhibit over the next 4 weeks and beyond, in how you are preparing for the season, in how you are preparing yourself and your work schedule and all the parties that you're going to go to and all the things that you have to deal with, that you have obligations with. For example, I know a lot of parents are stressing out because of the shopping and the having to put those meals together and having to provide this safe space for your family members and all those things that you're expected to do perfectly as a parent. So let that stress go right now and just give yourself that opportunity for those next 30 minutes that we are together here to really step into that serenity, that peace of mind, that freedom, that gratitude, trust, faith, passion, compassion, flow, ease, kindness, understanding, energizing yourself, and just let that flow into you. And make a declaration to yourself right now that this is going to be the best holiday season you've ever had. Like, I look back on this last Thanksgiving and I say, best ever. It was fantastic. The way it all came together, the food, the quality of the people that came together, the round that we had. The whole day was just wonderful. The way it started out, and then the way it flowed, and then even in the evening after the meal, after the guests were gone, what I got to do then. And it was just so beautiful. And then it went into the weekend, and here I am on Tuesday, and I'm still vibrating from that beautiful experience. And now I'm taking it into the holiday season. Of course, in the meantime, I also got to be an elf at the North Pole for our Polar Express here in Canap. And then tomorrow we get to go with the grandkids. So I'm super excited about that, because that's one of those things that I absolutely cherish. This is a highlight for me for the holiday season. I love it, love it, love it. And so I'm feeding myself, I'm feeding my spirit with that experience, being able to enjoy that with Sean and the grandkids tomorrow, for example. So, and those are those little nuggets of happiness that I'm collecting and putting into my memory bank, for that's what I will remember when I think about Christmas or the holiday season of 2023. So think about that for yourself as well. What are those general vibes that you want to be in? What is that flow that you want to be in as you go into this holiday season? Understanding that we are all connected, that everything is vibrating energy, and that there are different levels, different frequencies that you can tap into. And if for some reason that you're stuck in a low vibration, then right now you have the opportunity to change that by making that declaration that this is going to be your best holiday season ever, that you're going to have the most fun ever, that you're going to be in the greatest flow ever, that everything is just unfolding perfectly. One of the beliefs that we have in our family that I love to share is, it always turns out better than expected. So, for example, Sean and I are planning a little trip with the grandkids over this weekend. We're going to Lake Havasu, looking at the Christmas lights. Then we go down to Quartzsite to the rock show. This is super important to us. We love that. We love that area in southern Arizona. And then we're going to show the grandkids the Grand Canyon. And that is super important to us. That little 4-day trip is going to be spectacular. And I'm already pre-planning that in my mind. It's going to be even better than expected. It's going to be even better than I could have ever hoped for, because I know there will be little miracles unfolding with some people that we might meet, or some circumstances that we might encounter, some animals that are going to cross our path. I've been seeing deer like crazy. It's unbelievable. I see deer every single day. And they're always just jumping around in front of me. And I saw this mother with her 2 babies yesterday. It was adorable. And it's so wonderful because they're nice, safe encounters. They are giving themselves enough time to cross in front of me. I'm going very slow. And every single time it happens, it's magical. Seeing the Christmas lights around us in the neighborhood makes me happy. I love eggnog. I mean, there are so many things that I get joy from. Joy, what a wonderful word. To enjoy life, to enjoy the flow, to enjoy happiness. So give that to yourself right now. It's going to be better than I could have ever imagined it. Some miracles are going to unfold. I'm going to create magic. Magic is happening all around me. And say that to yourself, because I deserve it. Because we collectively deserve it. We deserve, as a culture, as a country, as a people, the world deserves more joy, more happiness. Our children deserve joy, happiness, flow, kindness, understanding, compassion, abundance. To go to bed every night with a full belly, knowing that they were nourished well, that they have a warm blanket, that they have a warm house. Everybody deserves that. So send that out into the universe right now, that that's the kind of world that we can create together. And it starts with you. You need to start with yourself, and you need to be grateful for what you have and for what you already get to enjoy in your own life. And then, how can I spread this wealth? How can I spread this abundance? How can I spread this nourishment to others? And it might be family members that are very close to you that need uplifting. It might be a friend of yours. It might be in your circle of friends. It might be in your circle of your neighborhood. It might be in the circle of your town that you live in. It might be in your country that you happen to be in right now. And it might be the whole world that is in your heart that you would like to send energy to. And every positive thought that you have is a download in the quantum field. You need to be aware of that, that every time that you complain and are critical and mean in your thoughts, you are literally downloading that into the collective conscience. And then it becomes available to everybody. So I feel that we have a social responsibility to be on our best conduct all the time, especially when you are a student of life and are interested in self improvement. That you have the kind of consciousness to constantly be aware of what you are downloading into the quantum field. And with more awareness comes a heightened responsibility. That you are aware of your thoughts and your words, your emotions and your deeds, and are constantly striving to do the best downloading possible. That you're blessing the intersection and the other drivers. That you are sending love to people in need and find out how you might be able to help them. That you open your heart, that you open your house to people in need. That you're reaching out, that you're showing gratitude. That to me is the most powerful thing and the easiest thing we can do, is to simply go out there and be grateful, show gratitude. And you do it with every person you come in contact with. Thank you so much for going out of your way. Thank you so much for being so kind. Thank you so much for making my day. You just made my day. Thank you so much. I love to say that when someone does something really special to me and they say something special or they're doing an act of kindness, I love to say, you just made my day. Thank you so much. And I mean it. It totally affects me that they did what they did. And I know I'm affecting them by letting them know that. And so it becomes a two-way street and everybody walks away happier. So give yourself that and make a promise to yourself right now that this is going to be your focus for those next 4 weeks and then into the new year. Wouldn't that be a wonderful intent to have that be your focus and say, you know what, I'm just going to leave every place better than I found it. I'm going to leave every person that I encounter better than I found them. And I'm going to make it my focus to spread gratitude, joy, happiness, flow, trust, compassion with every person who gets to be with me. So when you think right now about what are your shortcomings and what are the places where you ultimately have pain in your life, where do you suffer? Is it loneliness? Is it that you don't feel abundant enough and you're feeling shame that you're not able to provide the kind of holidays you would like to? Is there a disconnect with your family or your friends? Is there an overwhelm that there is just too much to do and you don't know how to handle it all and you don't feel supported enough? What is going on in your life right now where you feel that you are in a low vibration? And just check into that for a moment, just observe it, step back and look at yourself like in a movie. You don't have to be there right now and fully feel it. Just step back, look at yourself, gather information. That's all we want right now. And just notice what you notice. Looking at yourself, how do you sound? How do you look? How does it feel as you're looking at yourself? And just gather that information right now. And then simply love yourself. Send yourself some resources that you need. Perhaps you need forgiveness. Perhaps you need to feel that you deserve support. Perhaps you need to feel loved. Perhaps you need to feel that everything is going to be okay. Perhaps you simply need some other people around you. Or even so, you are surrounded by people and you're still feeling alone, that you feel a feeling of belongingness. So, whatever it is that you feel that you need right now to make it beautifully through those next 4 weeks, think of a time when you had that resource fully available to you. Because this is one of those NLP presuppositions that we come from, is that we already have all the resources that we need already within us. So if it is power that you need, or if it's belongingness that you need, or if it's some kind of hope that you need, courage perhaps. So I'm going to use the word courage right now because that's the last word I just said. And whenever I need courage, so for example, I do need some courage over those next few weeks. I'm going to make some big decisions and I'm also taking some big steps because I am going to travel right after Christmas and I'm going to go on a long trip and I'm going to do some very new things. So yes, courage is a very, very powerful resource that I can use definitely over those next 4 weeks and beyond. And so in what I just asked you to do, I'm going to ask myself as well, so when is a time in my life that I exhibited great courage in a way that it felt congruent, that I was nourished by it, that I was empowered by it? When was a time that I exhibited great courage? And the first example that always comes to mind, and I know you guys have heard me say that, is when I moved to America. When I chose to be an immigrant, come to this country and start a whole new life and find my happiness and live my dream. It also was very relevant when 12 years ago, Sean and I and children decided to move to the desert. We moved from a very big city into a rural town that is essentially about 80, 90 miles away from the next big town. And that is quite a big step for someone who lived in a big city like Salt Lake City for over 20 years. And so I'm going to use that example. So now that I'm making some big decisions and I'm embarking on some new adventures, I can think now back to when Sean and I were sitting there and we were discussing with the boys, are we going to do this move or not? Are we in this as a family? Are we really making this congruent decision right now that this is what we're going to be doing and then we're going to do it, okay? And I remember that courage that I tapped into at that time saying, you know what? It's going to work. Believe in yourself, believe in the decision that we're making congruently as a family right now. This is our happiness, this is our future. Let's be congruent about it. All right, let's do this. It's going to work out and it's going to turn out even better than expected. And after 12 years, I can definitely tell you it has. And I'm grateful every single day that I did it. So I can now give that as a gift to myself right here, right now, in those big decisions that I'm making right now, in this big trip that I'm creating for myself right now, the new discoveries that I'm making right now. And it's just the exact same voice. It's going to work out. It's going to be great. Just trust yourself, trust the universe, trust the decision. You're making the right decision here. You have the courage. You have shown it in the past. It's going to work out and it's going to be even better than expected. And now I give that to myself as a gift. Oh my goodness. And I'm being called by my Schnookie as I'm talking about my Schnookie. Hey Sean, want to say hi to everybody in our wonderful live stream? I was just telling the story of how we moved to Kanab. So tune in, my dear, and I'm going to talk to you later, okay? See ya. Oh, that's hilarious. And you know what? It's again, I turned it off. Isn't that funny? And it still rings. What is up with that? The universe is calling, right? Freaky. Ah, blessed be, but obviously heard his name as I'm telling the story of how we moved here. So everybody, Sean says hi. Isn't that funny? So having that courage, giving it to myself as a gift, and then receiving it. So put yourself in that place as well, whatever resource that you're choosing right now. Perhaps the resource is belongingness. Perhaps the resource is that you deserve, that you're worthy, kindness. Perhaps the resource that you need right now is support. Perhaps the resource right now that you need is trust. So think of a time in the past when you had trust and when you felt fully loved and understood and accepted and things worked out. It turned out okay. Just go there right now. Find a time when you had it. Now, I know there's at least one person who says, oh, I can't remember any times, or no, that never happened in my life. Yes, it did. You just can't remember it right now. Trust me on that, my friend. Trust me on that, please. And let me hold space for you that at some point you will come up with those examples in your conscious mind. So, for right now, even if you cannot consciously think about it, I would like for you to tap into it unconsciously. Hey there. And then simply give yourself the opportunity and the possibility that it has already been there for you, that you had moments of deep trust, deep connection, deep support, faith, everything that you need right now. So either you're consciously thinking about it, and just like the story that I shared with you, you can tap into it, you go back into the past, you go into the memory and actually experience it and then give yourself the gift, or you simply trust that you've done this before and that there was a time in your life when you had access to that very resource that you need right now. So give that to yourself as a gift in your imagination. And imagination is everything, you guys. I'm learning so much about right brain, left brain hemispheres and the communication between the two. And imagination is a key element, you guys. It's a key aspect in how we're lighting up our brain. So just by imagining that you had experiences when you trusted deeply, when you were joyful, when you were fully nourished, when you had belongingness, when you had peace of mind, when you were free, whatever it is that you need right now. And then give it to yourself as a gift. Imagine standing in front of you and handing it to you as a gift. And it can be pretty wrapped with a bow and or coming in a baggie, or it's just on a plate, however you want to visualize it. There is a gift for you. And then being yourself right here, right now, looking ahead in those next 4, 5, 6 weeks, and then receiving it. So I'm receiving the gift right now, the courage that I just talked about, and then I put it in my heart. And I give it to all of me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And this comes from the presupposition that because we are all one, because we are all connected, and because we are part of this big, big quantum field that connects all of us, that we are all entangled through, that we have access to everything in the universe. Every resource that exists is yours, and you're part of it, and you have access to it right here, right now. And you had it in the past, and you also have it in the future. So give yourself that right now, in this idea of that we are all connected, that we get to choose where we want to be on the vibrational frequency scale, and that even if you are in a low vibration right now, you can change that by accepting the resources from the universe that are always there for you. They're just knocking on your door. They're just waiting for you to call upon. Someone said to me once that we're surrounded by angels. And then she said, but you have to ask for help. That's the deal. And I know that's not the language of everybody who's watching here right now. And just open yourself up to the concept that everything is already all around you and you need to activate it. You need to ask it to show up for you. That is our responsibility, to call upon it. I'm calling for more freedom. I'm calling for more acceptance. I'm calling for more trust. I'm calling for more support. Whatever it is that you would like to have more of, call upon it. Ask the universe for help. Doesn't it feel nice? Yeah. Takes all that burden off, doesn't it? You don't have to do this alone, my friend. You do not have to do this alone. We are here for you. We are all here for each other. We are all in this together. We're all sitting in that same boat called the universe. And we are in training each other constantly. And you can tap into that, especially if you're hurting right now. And it's your prerogative, it is your deservingness, and you are worthy of it. So let all of that crap go that you're telling yourself that you're not worthy and that you are alone and that nobody cares and you don't deserve it. And because you're beating yourself up over mistakes you might have made in the past, let that all go. Do it physically. Let it go. I'm just letting it go. And we've all made mistakes. And we all did the best we could with the resources that were available to us at that time because we hadn't learned to ask for it. I didn't know that at 13 years old. I didn't know that at 20 years old that I had the right to ask the universe for help and to tap into my resources. I didn't know at that point that I had courage and deservingness and that I deserved to be accepted. I was such a fighter and such a loner when I now think about it. How silly, how hilarious what I've put myself through, how much pain I gave myself because I felt so disconnected and so alone. And I've been working so diligently on letting that go and feeling belongingness to a group. And even when I'm by myself, and I'm going to travel by myself for a while, and I love spending time by myself because I do feel so deeply connected through the quantum field that I don't need physical people around me all the time to still feel belongingness. And I know a lot of you guys can really relate with that. And I also know that there are some of you who cannot, and that you do truly feel alone. So let us all embrace you right now in the field, in that entanglement, and that you are a part of something much bigger than yourself. And there is a community. And if you want a specific community, then reach out. There are communities all over the place, and those are churches, and there are organizations that you can join. There are meditation groups, and there are fitness studios, and there are so many different ways that you can connect with other people. Music groups. There are poetry groups and chess clubs, and you can look around. There's everything you can ever imagine is in some kind of an organized format that you can tap into. And especially now with the technology that we have available, there is zero excuse to feel excluded and alone because you can also do it over Zoom, Facebook, Lives, Instagram, whatever. There are many, many ways that you can choose to be connected if you so do. And if you don't feel that you can do that, you really have to ask yourself, how does it serve me that I feel so disconnected? What is the message in all of this? That I'm feeling so alone and that I'm feeling so unnourished, so unloved. Why would my brain conjure up that reality for me? And that's when it goes into the RAS, our reticular activating system. And that's where it goes back to our conditioning. What went on in your life when you were young and when you were being educated by your surroundings about how the world works? It's that filter that we're drawing around reality, and that means you need to do some work. And that might mean that you need to talk to a counselor or a therapist or a coach or attend some classes or watch some videos about how to find that connection and how to heal that childhood drama that you obviously experienced in that level that made you so disconnected or unworthy or unloved. So please take that as an encouragement and an invitation to work on yourself because it is possible to change that. I know I've done it myself, and I know thousands of people who've done it also. That is the work that I do on a daily basis. And for those of you who do want to dive a lot deeper into that arena, I do offer one more masterclass on the 9th of December, and it's all about how to love yourself. And it's about that inner communication that you have with yourself, how you resolve internal conflicts, and how you can create your own resource council. For those of you who would like to go that route, please make sure that you send me a text, that you send me a message here on Facebook, and I will be happy to talk to you about it. And find other ways, watch YouTube videos, go on Instagram, go to other platforms, and educate yourself. Do the healing work because you deserve it. If you have anything in your life right now that gives you pain, that makes you suffer, please take action. The worst thing you can do is just keep propelling it forward. Oh, well, there's nothing I can do about it. Oh, it's just hopeless. Because that's how you keep yourself in that low vibration. And it is a choice that you can make. And I really believe that you want to make that choice. Otherwise, you wouldn't have tuned in and you wouldn't watch this information right now. There is an attraction, there is a purpose for me showing up here right now and talking to you like that. Otherwise, you would be watching something different, right? You believe in that? That something attracted you to this information and that something is compelling you and saying, hey, friend, this is your time. If there's something that's bugging you, if there's something that you're complaining about and it's been going on for a long time, right now is the time to elevate that and to let that go. And it all starts with a decision. You're having the awareness now, you have the information, now it's up to you to make a decision. And I made that decision a few months ago when I said, no more. I'm done with this pattern. When I was dealing with certain patterns in my life that weren't useful for me anymore. They had run their course, and I was done feeling sorry for myself, and I was done repeating the old cycle over and over and over and feeling bad about myself and then feeling guilty about it and feeling shameful about it, which are the low vibrations. And I finally said to myself, I'm done with this. I've had enough. I've played this pattern long enough. I have fulfilled this RAS long enough that I'm not willing to expend any more energy into this. And I'm from now on going to do everything I can to keep raising my vibration so that I'm in a place of hopefulness, gratitude, joy, purpose, mission, inspiration, and most importantly, gratitude. Gratitude, gratitude. Be grateful for where you're at and then count your blessings and just add more and more and more. Where's my folder? It's right here. And one of the pages that I'm writing every day, I'm adding more to my list, my gratitude list. And it starts with simple things. I'm so grateful that I have a roof over my head, that my room is warm, that I have a nice, warm, fuzzy blanket, my grandkids, my relationships, my calling, my job, everything. The list just goes on and on and on. But I start with very basic, simple things. I'm grateful I woke up happy this morning. I'm grateful for my community. I'm grateful for NLP. I'm grateful for the law of attraction. I'm grateful for my books. I'm grateful for information. I'm grateful for YouTube. You can come up with thousands and thousands of things that you're grateful for when you really start writing and really immerse yourself into it. And again, it starts with the decision. So, being your witness right now, and everybody who's going to tune into this is going to be several hundred people. So, just imagine that right now, that we're all holding space for each other and with each other. We are all witnesses for each other, and we're holding each other accountable in making the decision to take the next natural step in our evolution and raising our vibration, our frequency to the next level now. And we're going to put actions into place. by reading certain materials, by exposing ourselves to certain information. Watch the kind of movies that make you happy. Listen to the kind of music that makes you happy and gives you hope. Do the kind of activities that make you happy and give you hope. Someone exposed me to a new prayer the other day and they asked me to write it down. So I have it sitting here right now. And it's the thing that I'm promising myself I'm going to do every morning and every evening. I'm looking at a tarot card that I just drew the other day that is deeply informative to me right now. It's the pure white dragon from Orion, and he has some beautiful messages, and that's very important to me. And then I also drew another tarot card this morning, and those of you who love tarot know that this is a very special card, the Magician. I'm so excited. I drew the Magician. That's why I posted the magic today. So those are the things that I do. Those are purposeful actions that I'm taking to enhance my gratitude, to enhance my vibration. And that's what I would like to challenge you with, that you are taking specific actions that you commit yourself to then execute every day. And the more you do it, the more you get used to it, the more normal it becomes. It becomes your mode of operation. You don't have to make yourself think about it anymore. You just do it because that's what you're doing. Like a prayer, like a meditation, like reading certain books or doing certain actions, like dancing. Oh my goodness, I put on some funny music this afternoon and I danced with the grandkids. I had so much fun. And our little 2-year-old, she was doing the same moves I was doing. I was laughing so hard to watch that little kid just totally that big smile on her face and just, rocking out. It was hilarious. No little diapers, it was just absolutely adorable. And those are the things that fill my heart. Those are the things that I take into the evening when I give thanks for the day and I say, thank you that I got to experience that today. And it all started with a decision that I made many, many years ago saying, I want to live a happy life. I want to live a life that I can look back on one day when I pass and say, I am so deeply grateful that that is what I get to call my existence. And that's what I get to look back on. That was a decision I made as a young person when I got into NLP. And I was about 26 years old when I had my very first exposure to NLP through a practitioner. And I remember walking out of that office on a cloud because for the first time in my life, I knew that I could actually have some influence about what's going on between my ears, that I can pay attention to my thoughts, that I can start changing my thoughts, that I can reframe them, that I can heal them. And then that affects my actual emotional makeup. And I'm raising my vibration by changing the quality of my thoughts. And then I'm happier, I'm more grateful, I'm more relaxed, I'm more casual, I'm more hopeful. And then that creates a new reality. And all of a sudden, you're looking back and saying, wow, those last 30 years were amazing. What a trip, what an adventure. And in the beginning of this year, I wrote in my intent for the year, the real adventure starts now. And now that it's almost the end of the year, I could not have asked for a better year. And the real adventure that has manifested itself over those last 11 months. And I still have another month to go, so I'm very excited. I could not even have imagined that this is what I was going to be presented with. And I'm so grateful for that. And so with that deep, deep gratitude right now that I have in my heart for how fabulous 2023 has been in my personal life and what God and the universe has gifted me with, I'm passing that on to you guys and I'm holding space for whatever it is that you're dealing with, for whatever you're deciding for yourself right now, and make this next month your stepping stone for this fabulous 2024 that you want to create for yourself. Make this your declaration, make this your decision for this next month to be the foundation, what you want to create next. That is my greatest wish for you for this holiday season, and that you take what I just shared with you to heart and really step into that oneness, that connection, that belongingness that we all have with each other, where you never ever have to be alone again or lonely or disconnected and feel like you don't belong. Tap into that belongingness, find your community, find your tribe, the people that you feel that you can connect with, and then have that flow, have that serenity, that trust, that hope, that everything is just going to reveal itself perfectly to you over this next month and giving you the information that you need to then start the next year in a very, very high vibration. Okay? Sounds good for now? All right. Well, I hope that I really pumped you up here right now. And you know what? Because I know there is a lot of stress for people in this next month, I am committing myself to have more free seminars for you guys and have a couple more extra gatherings. So I believe that next Tuesday I'm going to be available and that I can also do a live stream. Okay, so unless something big happens and I forgot something on my calendar that I'm not thinking of right now, I will be here next Tuesday. Okay, so any questions that you have for me, any case studies, any personal questions that you have, any kind of issues that you're dealing with that you would like for me to talk about, please send me a message and I will definitely get into that. Okay, that's how a lot of my seminars are happening, because people ask me questions, people brought up certain subject matters that I found very interesting and feel that a lot of people can benefit from it. So don't be shy, reach out to me. I love to hear from you. And those of you who want to learn more, December 9th is our last masterclass. Learn to love yourself on a deeper level. So with that, my friends, a big hug to you all. I'm going to take you tomorrow with me to the North Pole, okay? Right on. You have a wonderful evening, a wonderful rest of the day wherever you're at. And I'm going to see you soon again. Mwah. Lots of love and happy holidays. Bye.